the mmorpg Throne and Liberty continues to fight for its global future. After the Korean closed beta test, the game faced a wave of justified criticism, leading the developers to not just make adjustments, but completely overhaul the project. The game, as it was presented during the test, was not suitable for the Western market. However, there has been a lot of interesting information about the game recently, and it's the second update video during this month on this channel. My name is PLK. Please subscribe to the channel, you will support me, it means a lot for me. And let's go! So the game currently undergoing a closed beta test, from which news are also emerging. So let's talk about this once promising but still intriguing MMORPG that seems will not give up, which I really hope. Alright, let's get straight to the point without further ado. After a fairly long period during which we could only speculate about what was happening with the game, the developers decided to start communicating with the community through what they called producer letters. So yes, Amazon's still responsible for the global version, despite the developers' claims about the parallel and essentially simultaneous development of the game versions, stating a unified version of all. I personally believe that they would like to launch a version with automated elements in their home country and prepare adapted version without that for the global market. Well, you address the markets, right? So, nothing bad with that for us. As it turned out, they decided to stick to the original plan. And for this reason, the change in the global version of the MMORPG Throne and Liberty will also affect the Korean version. As mentioned in the open letter, the developers identified two main issues with TL: static combat and boring leveling. At the current stage, according to the producer, the overall combat system has been changed to allow attacking while moving. Additionally, PvP have been eliminated in all areas except the conflict zones. The control sensitivity has also been increased by minimizing the inertia effect that occurs when you're changing the direction. Of course, this does not mean that the combat system have been completely improved with this modification. However, taking the first step toward changing static combat to dynamic combat involved adding the ability to move and fight simultaneously. Finally, this is 2023, right? The game will be launched in 2024, hopefully. Nobody can play these old style controls in MMORPG, so thank you. Let's go forward with that. After removing many controls limitations, the developers focused on skills. There was a limitation on the number of skills that could be used, which hindered active thinking for players. Therefore, significant work has been done to expand the combat possibilities and make it more varied. In addition to targeted skills, a range of new skills types such as directional and aerial skills have been added, adapting to the control conditions on PC. You get it, right? So these guys, they really not just adjusting the game, they're trying to change stuff so it will be the better version of the game, which is super cool. And also they're more focused right now, at least for the global version, to the PC, so that's good. As always, the fun club of Lineage 2 here, right? The number of initially provided skills has also been increased, and the speed of learning new skills has been enhanced. The process of weapon switching has also been made smoother. The system of using and equipping two types of weapon is a crucial feature of TL's combat. However, the actual combination of weapons used has clear limitations, since the system was designed to create different weapon combinations according to the individual preferences and concept. Changes were also needed in this regard. As a result, the stat system have been completely reworked, where specific attributes previously only affected the damage of specific weapons, and the effects of additional abilities have been expanded beyond just attack power. Passive weapon skills that were effective only when using specific weapon have been adjusted to have the same impact on all types of the weapons. Furthermore, there is now less need to carry multiple equipment items due to the increase in the number of early equipment drops and enhancements. Regarding the automation of the certain process, the producer mentioned that over the course of genre existence, developers have realized that the presence of auto-hunting system is increasingly perceived in MMORPGs as a given, and they decided to follow this trend. However, it turns out that this approach was not appreciated in the West. So at the current stage, auto-hunting and even auto-movement have been completely removed from the game. I don't know why they removed the auto movement, which is like you have it in Black Desert Online, and that's fine, right? Nobody cares about that you click. But It's the thing that when you playing World of Warcraft, or for instance when you're playing Lineage 2, the old ones, you immerse more in the world because you do it everything done by you, right? No auto hunting, no auto movement, etc. Maybe it's a good thing, right? And it will be beneficial for us as a players. So let's see. Among other changes, the importance of hunting in growth areas have been significantly reduced. So to make it more simple, many areas and many awards were reworked. So you need not only to grind, but you have some kind of area or regional events where you will get some experience. Cool. Work is also being done on several instance dungeons where players will have to fight bosses. This is to promote cooperative play because guilds are too large formation, and the game needs more ground-based activities that allow for cooperation play on a smaller scale. They promise to demonstrate all of this at the project's launch. And it's not just about adding new content, but also about making existing content less grind-dependent. During the beta test, the developers saw that many people were engaged in world exploration and realized that they need to make exploration and discovery more engaging, more fun. The character progression process was also considered to be excessively drawn out, and with a good reason. Therefore, it was decided to significantly reduce the time required for leveling up and make more simple the crafting and upgrading equipment to speed up character growth, higher chances of loot drop, and more XP. Skills are now acquired automatically as the level increases, and you're gaining more skill points to accelerate your skill growth as well. The time it takes to level up has been adjusted, considering passive play up to level 50. The time to reach level 30, as shown in the beta version, has been reduced by 1/3. On the time to reach level 50 had been reduced to 1/10. And it's huge. You should understand, if you played any Korean mmorpg, level from 60 to 61, if it's endgame or something like that, it's like months. So 1/3 from 1 to 30, it's okay, right? It's more fast, but for 10% decrease the leveling time on an endgame is huge. It's days of the grind. As I said, most likely it refers to 10%. And recently the second letter from the producer was released, in which he talked about bosses, new locations, and content for 6-person party after reaching level 30. Now we know that the maximum party members will be 6, which is compared to Lineage 2 a little bit less, but bigger than in World of Warcraft. So we'll get different types of the roles in the group, which is cool. This is some kind of unique feature of the Korean MMORPGs, which I really like in Lineage 2. So we learned about the Malakar, the Eye of the Death, a boss who gave up his eye to gain infinite knowledge. Tavend, a world boss, was a former court magician who went mad and resurrected by a mysterious force as a gigantic skeleton. Based on the description, the battle with them will not be an easy walk. A new region available for exploration is the Orc Canyon in the Phonos River Basin. The canyon is home to the altars of the Phonos Orcs, the fiercest fighters ever seen on the Silesian continent. The producer warns that the orcs live here, so don't expect to return home unscathed. May you survive the flying bolts and firebolts. Another interesting place is the Grey Claw Forest. The forest is inhabited by the Likan tribe, the original inhabitants of the forest who have lost half of their territory due to the human invasion. They continue to resist in anger to this day. The large breach leading to the north of the Grey Claw Forest has been destroyed. Perhaps it will be up to the players to uncover the secret of this forest. The Isle of Lizards is a volcanic island in the Stoneguard archipelago. It is close to the continent but difficult to access. It is the nesting ground to the lizard tribe, freely moving on land and sea. They are so aggressive that any ship passing through the ocean must be prepared for an attack. The situation on the island is no better, by the way. And finally, we were given more details about the aforementioned party instance dungeons. These dungeons are optimized for 6-person team. The essence of the party instant dungeon is to preserve the key idea for which open field dungeons were designed, but with strict conditions to provide more serious challenges. The group dungeon is divided into the breakthrough sections before meeting the boss and the boss section where the actual attack takes place. The dungeons are aimed to classic squad combat. Players will work together with the role divisions, but the sections themselves will not be long to avoid. it becoming a meaningless waste of time. Each dungeon will have its own feature that allows it to be overcome not just by mindlessly defeating mobs and bosses, but with, for example, a not overly complex puzzles. Bosses in group instances dungeons are very powerful. We were introduced to one of them, Heliver, the Abyss Guide, as well as a bit about the instance itself. Silius, an evil spirit created by dark magic, turned the ancient catacombs into the laboratory Silius Abyss. This place filled with immortal creatures and monsters have become as complex as a labyrinth, and Silius passed his power into his servant Heliver to act as a guide. Heliver became the guide of the Abyss, leading uninvited guests to their doom. The boss often uses area of effect spells that can instantly kill a player who is not paying attention. If allies do not enter the damage area and distribute the damage, the target cannot survive. On paper, it doesn't seem so complex, but it seems to me that the developers don't aim to torment players with impossible instances. In conclusion, I would like to share some, impressions and thoughts and ideas that we get from the ongoing closed beta test. Yes, auto-pathing has indeed been completely removed from the game. Auto-combat and auto-hunting as well. The game optimization has significantly improved, and there are almost no FPS drops even in the low-end PCs. As the producer mentioned, some skills can be used while the character is moving. The leveling speed have indeed been significantly increased compared to the May test. For example, level 20 can be reached in 4 hours, while in Korea it took about whole day. One more time, I remember Lineage 2 Classic. Level 20 from overall 60 levels, level 20 I get it in 2 weeks. Playing every day, every evening for a few hours. So, level 20 for 4 hours, cool. However, side quests give very little experience, and the main experience comes from the main story. Additionally, the game already has guilds that fully control the respawn of world bosses and PvP zones. And recently, as far as I know, the first castle siege took place. It seems to be the only one of the game for now. Anyone can participate in the castle siege, but there are only 4 castle flags. Any guild can register for the flag, as long as your clan can defend it from others. It looks like I definitely think that they took some ideas from the Lineage 2 mobile, right, about the castles, and this thing is pretty good in that game. What I don't like these world bosses and PvP zones. If one guild will completely took these zones and bosses, they will get everything. It was like that in Lineage 2 as well. And that's why we have all these intrigues, PvP battles, etc, etc. I just hope that they will still keep some place for solo PvP or small groups PvP, not just like huge clan overcoming everything. But let's see. Overall, the improvements are super good, and it looks like they're doing great understanding what we as players want from them, right? So, during the siege, flags can be moved to other locations, but they are subject to PvP, and there is a high chance of being killed while moving. The standard PvP rules apply to the castle siege. If you are not in an alliance, you can attack each other. In addition, the castle flags can summon the main bosses. The castles can be divided into the 3 stages: the outer wall, the inner wall, and the throne room. Lineage 2, hello! The first 2 stages require the presence of the castle main bosses. It is possible to enter the castle through the central gates or the rear gates. There were some rumors on the website, but this is not the final version. So let's wait and see what we'll get. I definitely one more time will say that these guys know how to do the huge, interesting sieges of the castles. So I hope they will do that. In a couple of days, there should be another castle siege test. In my humble opinion, Throne and Liberty is gradually transforming into a truly successful and interesting MMORPG. Yes, I'm a fanboy of these games, so I really hope that they will. Why it couldn't have been like this from the beginning? So it will not play on our nerves and the huge community will be still with the game. But let's see. If they will continue with all these changes and listening to the community, this could be a great game. And I'm really happy about that, and I'm really happy that you were with me the whole video. Thank you for that. Subscribe to the channel, like or dislike if you don't like the video. Comment below why you like it, what do you think about the Throne and Liberty, and I will see you next one. Bye!